So hey guys, before we get started with this video, I did want to shout out to Cynosure Hair. They are the ones that are sponsoring this video, so I want to show you guys a little quick hair tutorial. So here is the hair that they sent me. I have Brazilian curly all the way down to 28 inches. Here is the lace closure. As you can see, the curl pattern is very tight. Here are the bundles. They are so beautiful. I love this curl pattern. Definitely one that is to die for. So again, this is from Cynosure Hair, and I will have everything down below. So I'm going to be bleaching my closure. So I start off with my basic white bleaching powder. This is just going to lighten up the closure, as well as the Colada colors and blue toning powder, so it can give us like a nice little scalp color type of look. And then I have 30 volume developer, and this is just going to help lift the bleaches so that they can go into like a paste and we can apply it onto our closure. You're going to need a bowl to get started. You're also going to need some form of plastic utensils because it just helps with mixing and applying it onto your closure. So getting started, just take a scoop out of the bleaching powder, take a scoop out of your toning powder, and just place that into a bowl so it's going to look like this. Then after that, go ahead and pour in your 30 volume developer. Get it to a point where it's going to be nice and thick, and just mix it together. So you want your paste to be like a thick paste, like toothpaste. Don't have it too liquidy or too runny. So I use aluminum foil when I do bleach, but I never insert this in my videos. This just helps to be a conductor to speed up the process and just to make sure that the hair is being bleached thoroughly. So basically what I do is I take the lace closure while it's bleaching, and I take my aluminum foil and I just press that lace closure onto aluminum foil, because the aluminum foil is going to conduct heat, which basically just speeds up the process. So as you can see, once you press it onto aluminum foil, you see that the bleach is kind of seeping onto the knots, which is going to help to lighten the knots. So definitely get some aluminum foil. And I'm just taking my timer and I set it for 25 minutes, and I just let the closure sit, and I move on to actually constructing the hair. So once the closure is actually done sitting for its 25 minutes, it's time to wash it out. So I'm taking the Iso Plus neutralizing shampoo and conditioner, and this is just a conditioner that I use when I am working with any chemicals, whether that be bleach, hair color, anything like that. So I take the closure and I place on the shampoo conditioner mix, and I'm just going to be rubbing that thoroughly and washing it out with warm water. So essentially it's just going to stop the processing so that the closure doesn't keep bleaching when you're done. So I always use a Demon brush with curly hair, and I'm going to be using some conditioner that I just picked up from my local beauty supply store. Place that on the hair on the closure, and just go ahead and start to rinse that out as well while combing and detangling with your Demon brush. A Demon brush is always essential for curly hair. So I just do that thoroughly and run it through the entire closure, and making sure I coat the hair with the conditioner and make sure it's all detangled, because curly hair does love to shed. So here's the closure when it's all said and done. As you can see, it's blending a lot better with our skin tone, and you can see that the knots on the closure have like a more yellowy or brassy tone than it just being black. So when it comes to constructing my wig, I'm going to do this off camera, but I did want to show you guys the wig cap that I use, which is the spandex dome style cap. Placing that onto my mannequin head and just going ahead and sewing. So I just want to show you guys how I line up a side part closure. I don't do it in the center because you don't get as much parting room. So I definitely place it on the side, and I pin it down to my mannequin head on all four corners. So 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and sometimes 1 in like the center, but be very careful because you don't want to poke a hole. And I go ahead and part my closure to the side. You get a lot more of a deep part when you shift the closure to the side like this. And I apply my mousse just to hold down the parting side of the closure, pluck it and sew it on, and then I sew on the rest of the bundle. So here is the hair once it is all said and done in its wig form. I did cut it because I just wasn't going for the long hair look. I wanted to try something short, and now I'm applying my wig. So I just apply it from the back, flip it on, and this is just what it looks like when I place it on, and I don't customize it or anything. I love the look, you know, like it's just something different. Love the short curly texture. Just a tip for you guys that want to make sure that your part is looking very scalp-like. Take some of your powder that you use on your face and a small makeup brush, and go ahead and apply that on your part and the front of your hair. And this is what the hair looked like when it was all said and done. I am loving this hair from Cynosure. The curl pattern is to die for. I love the side part look. I feel like this is something I don't do as often, but it's definitely a cute style. This wig is going to be sold in my next collection for $300, so stay tuned for that if you want to have this wig. And let's get right into this video. Hi guys, I'm back with another video. So today's video is yet again another Chioma Chats video. Nigga, pay attention. Chat. Chioma Chat. Hey. So we are back again with another video. This time we are discussing something a little bit more Typical. So we're going to be discussing 4C hair, and I feel like oftentimes I do talk about hair on my channel, but I definitely show you guys my little wigs because I feel like it's just a really cute creation. Say what you want. Somebody's going to say something. Oh, but don't you have a wig in your head? Aren't you wearing a white woman's hair? Like the dumbass comment that is. Yes, I am, to answer your stupid question. I am, okay? And so what? And if you want me to rip off the wig, I will. So I came across this post on Facebook and I was just kind of like, who says this? You know, it just like rubbed me the complete wrong way, and I just had to make a video about it. So let's get right into this video. So this is the post here, and the post says, do not send me pics like the first pic saying I want my hair to look exactly like hers, but your hair look like the second pic. I am not God. I cannot make natural kinky hair look like mixed people hair or permed hair. I mean, just the ignorance, just the stupidity. Don't you just want to slap her? She just sounds madness. This is complete madness. And honestly, I'm not surprised because there still are a lot of ignorant people within the black community that think like this. So I broke my video into 4 main talking points that I want to discuss. So let us continue. So first and foremost, she dead wrong. She is dead wrong. This stylist is dead wrong. I don't care how you flip it. Say what you want, but she is dead wrong. There is no correlation between her being God and her being able to do hair. Secondly, if you're a stylist, you should know how to work on all types of hair. I don't know what they teach you in cosmetology school. I've never been to cosmetology school, but I feel like there must be some form of lack of specializing in ethnic or 4C or hair that is just a little bit more textured or a lot more textured than other types of hair. There's no reason that stylists are being taught and giving these certificates for only knowing how to perform on one type of hair. You don't make these types of comments, especially in sensitive generation 2019, and you just cannot say this and expect that you're going to have a certain clientele. It just sounds completely ignorant. Point number 2. Honestly, she sounds dumb. Not only because she's ignorant, but because how in the world do you feel like a mixed person's hair would be easier to cornrow than an actual hair with more density, more texture, and more coarseness? The average black woman's hair, which is going to be a lot more coarser than a non-black woman, is actually a lot easier to work on to achieve that specific style than another type of hair texture. It has the grip, it has the strength, it has the coarseness, and it has the texture in order for you to get into the hair and form it exactly how you want to form. And let's not even forget, when you go to buy hair extensions or braiding hair, the braiding hair is what? Kanekalon hair. It's usually a more coarse hair texture anyway that matches with African American or more typical black hair. So it makes no sense as to how you're going to be applying hair that is kinky into hair that is kinky and telling me it's harder for you to bring kinky into kinky than it is for you to bring kinky into non-kinky. Make it make sense. You sound stupid. The third point that I want to make is how sad it is that there are people internally within this demographic that think like this. It's truly sad. It's like it be your own people, for real. It be your own people that do things like this. I feel like it's very important to know that not everyone within the community understands that some of the things that they may say may come off as colorist, featurist, texturist, whatever you want to call it. And they say these things thinking that, oh, it's just me saying that I can't do it, when in reality she doesn't understand how biased, how prejudiced, and how ignorant she sounded. And I find it very disrespectful for a stylist to say that who is of the culture and more likely than not has the same texture as that hair. And I find it so weird how a lot of people within the black community, when it comes to hair texture, will sit here and praise the 4A. You know, the one that's not as kinky, but then 4C is like demon grass. You feel me? It's like hair that's just unmanageable, unruly, completely disgusting, and just untouchable. Like it's just the most disgusting thing on earth. There are people that have this hair texture, that have healthy hair, long hair, who have versatile hair, who have 4C hair texture, such as myself, and I love my hair. Well, I've had issues with my hair. I felt the ugliness, I felt prejudice, I felt like girls were making fun of me, and the people that always made fun of me about my hair were not the white kids, but were girls, the black girls who were actually within my own community and demographic. And it's weird how within this community of black women, you oftentimes can shame another girl just for her hair texture, but then when someone outside our race does it, we're up in arms. No, we have to keep that same energy. You're either going to uplift all or don't say anything at all. It's kind of like disheartening as well that internally there are some people that think like this, and there are women who perpetuate this type of texturism, featurism. Like I said, it's not just always dark-skinned black men. There are women that still do the same thing, you know, and this this is a prime example of that. She's saying, oh, I'm not God, do not come to me if you have this type of hair texture. How are you going to take out a whole sector of your whole clientele because of something that you think is not good? It's not that she probably couldn't do it, it's that she thinks it's not good. It really be your own people. The fourth and final point that I wanted to bring up is that stylists all over need to be doing better. Okay, there's a lot of hairstylists out here that will neglect certain clients off of certain things, and you really have to watch that because you can get into some legal implications based on discrimination. You cannot sit up here and post something like that and expect to get some form of riveting and praise for your post. No one's going to sit up here and agree with her and say, oh, well, yeah, girl, I definitely agree. Definitely kick those people out of your clientele. As a stylist, you have all the freedom to pick whose hair you want to do and how you want to do it. But at the end of the day, do not sit here and bash somebody that's within your clientele, especially as a black stylist, especially when a lot of your clients are going to have 4C hair or hair that is just more textured than others, and you want to sit up here and bash them for the type of hair that they possess naturally. Who are you? And then you sit up here and say, I'm not God, so I can't do this hair. But God is the same one who created that 4C hair, isn't it? Okay. I feel like it's very upsetting for me to see a black stylist talk like this, especially when within our community we have people with that textured hair and people that are just trying to figure out how do I work this hair texture that is not as represented. I feel like this would have been a great opportunity for her to transform the hair and show that there are ways to getting our more coarser hair into a more sleek style, and then being able to revert that and have that, you know, versatility within styling. And it's because of her work, her efforts, her talents that she was able to do that. But instead you chose a time where you could have really put yourself on to bash somebody else and also diminish your brand. Like, that's just so sickening and disheartening. A lot of these stylists need to do better. Sometimes I will watch people on YouTube who do natural hair, and oftentimes they'll have models, but all their models do not really exemplify across the board different coarser types of hair that we have within the ethnic or black community, African community, or just people of color who have more textured hair than other races and ethnicities. And it's really sad, because how can you sit up here and call yourself a hairstylist, especially saying that you specialize in natural hair care, but almost none to none of your clients actually have what is the higher spectrum of a curl texture 4C? What stylist? Where's the stylist? Where they at? Because you're not really a stylist if you ask me. Now, I did want to do a personal little shout out that if you're in the Toledo area, Bowling Green area, even if you're in the Detroit area, if you're in the Dayton area, Cincinnati, Columbus, if you're in the Ohio area, my girl Michelle, she does my natural hair. We did a little something a couple months ago where I just kind of featured her. She really takes care of my natural hair and definitely helps promote the growth of my natural hair, the strength, the texture, and all those things. She's really well informed on what she's doing. She specializes in natural hair care, and she does all textures from the 1C all the way to the 4Z. She does all of it. There's not one hair that she cannot do. She does everything. So if you're looking for a natural hairstylist, or if you want to just follow her on Instagram and just keep up with some of her posts so you can get some form of tips about your hair, if you're not in the area, definitely do so. So overall, I feel like this was a really bad example of how representation within your brand could definitely hurt you. In a time where a lot of people are sensitive, and we definitely do emphasize hair as girls, you know, it's just part of us being feminine. For you to sit here and bash a hair texture, to me, is just dead wrong. It's very disrespectful to sit up here and say that you can't do something when, one, you probably didn't even try, and two, that hair texture is even more suitable for the style that was trying to be achieved. And again, we bash each other as women a lot, but then we get on men and other people outside of our race for talking about us when we're doing it to ourselves internally, and it has to stop. That was the whole thing I was talking about when it came to the edges. People were saying like, oh, how can you have 4C hair, but then you're trying to make white girl edges, as if my hair cannot get sleek and slick. When you have 4C hair, you have such versatility when your hair, when you can twist it, you can straighten it, flat iron it, crimp it, curl it, wear it in a puff, wear it natural, define it. You can do so much to textured hair that you can't do with straighter hair. I know so many people that would wish that they had 4C hair or just curly hair, because there's so much that you can do. I'd rather have curly hair that I can straighten and curl than just have straight hair that doesn't really do much and kind of seems kind of lifeless. No offense, but just saying. So what are you guys' thoughts on this whole entire situation? What do you think? How do you feel about the stylist? Do you think that this hair was just completely unmanageable? What are your thoughts on 4C overall? And what are your thoughts on representation of 4C? Don't forget to check the description box down below to check out this hair from Cynosure. It's on and popping. You know, I had to get a little short, little motherfucking shortcut with the curl, you feel me, with the side part. Already know. Definitely check the description box down below, and all of that will be there. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on all of my social media, especially that Instagram, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.